Welkom bij de Alles over Spanje podcast. De podcast die je meeneemt achter de schermen van het leven, investeren en ondernemen in Spanje. Ik ben Glenn Snels, vastgoedexpert en ondernemer met passie voor Spanje. Elke maand breng ik nieuwe verhalen, inzichten en tips met één doel. Jou helpen om van Spanje meer te maken dan een droom alleen. Klaar om Spanje echt te ontdekken? Vamos! Welcome to the All About Spain podcast. Today we're gonna talk about new built home buying in Spain, and we have our special guest today, Sylvia from SGM Lawyers. Thank you, Sylvia, for joining our podcast.
Thank you very much, Glenn. It's a pleasure for me to join you today in the podcast. It's the first one I do, so I'm very, very, very happy, and I really thank you for this opportunity. And let's explain to all our people what is about buying a property in Spain.
Yeah, thank you for joining us as well. It's a pleasure also to have you in our podcast, also with your tons of experience. We're going to have a very interested chat today about all things what will happen for the first-time buyers in Spain. So let's jump in. Let's start.
Very good. So, just for the people to know me, I'm a lawyer. I have 25 years experience in this sector, and I've been running my own company, SGM Abogados, for the last 10 years. We have two offices in Costa Blanca and in Murcia, and we are 18 people. Okay, which is lawyer, legal assistants, and we have all the languages. Unfortunately, I do speak Spanish and English and Italian, but not that. So it will be in English today. And hopefully in the future, one of my team can join you and do it in that. So for me, one of the most important things that a buyer have to do is to choose well the agency they going to work with to find the right house. I think it's very important that it's a professional agency and somebody that knows the area very well, and also the builders, because you as a buyer has a lot already work done when the agency point you in the right direction. Because as everything in life, not all the builders are the same. Not all of them work with the same guarantees as the law established, and not all the agencies are the same. So a very good agency will find the right fit, the right property for the buyer. And that is, I think, one of the most important things, because if you buy the wrong house or the wrong area, buying and selling in Spain costs you money.
Yeah, of course.
I remember I had a client that they were like very excited, and they bought a resale property in an area which it was really isolated. Okay. And once they know a little bit more in Spain, they prefer to be more in a town, like they could walk everywhere. And of course, they sell the property and buy another one. But selling in Spain costs money and a lot of taxes. Buying costs money again. So it happens. I see
of course.
many times. So going to the right agency, like you do for your clients, which takes care of everything and explain you the process and takes your hand and show you the houses and learn about you as a client and what you are looking for, is very important.
Yeah, of course. Because if you don't know the neighborhood or the city, I have a lot of people that contact me through the podcast. Oh, we bought a property there, and at the end it was not really good because we didn't know the city or the town very good, or the place very good, and then at the end it was not really a good experience because somebody didn't listen well to them with their needs, or they were counting on somebody to transmit their thoughts in the real life, So that's a very interesting thing that you mentioned.
So, and once they choose well the agency, they find the house, they find the area where they want to buy, the next step for me will be to appoint a lawyer, to just find the right lawyer, because from this moment, they need to be already taking care from the legal point of view. So what the lawyer we do for our clients, or what a buyer should expect from the legal point of view. The first thing is to negotiate the purchase contract. The builder will give them first a reservation contract, which is a very simple contract that specifies the buyers and the sellers' details. The seller is the builder, obviously, the house, the price, and when the property will be finished. And that's fine. They pay a deposit between 6,000 to 10,000 euros, sign the reservation contract, and from this moment, then you need a lawyer. Because then we have to start checking that the builder has got all the necessary documents for us to assure that the purchase and the house and everything is in legal order. So the first thing we do is to ask the builder, show us that the land where you are going to build my client's house, you own it, because they need to be the owner of the land.
Yeah.
And also, of course,
Yeah.
some they not. I know it's obvious, but sometimes we find situations where the builder bought the land and they provide us a purchase contract, which is the right to buy the land, but they don't own the land. And I think this information is quite interesting or important for the buyer to know. So that's why we do the verification in this very early stage to make sure that they can provide like guarantees that the building is happening. So they provide us that they own the land, and we ask us as well for the building license, which is the document given by the town hall allowing them to build the house or the building or wherever they're going to build. So at least these two things to confirm the buyers, everything is in legal order, and the builder start building the property. 15 months, 9 months, 18 months, it depends on the project. Sometimes they are projects 2 years. It's the beginning to the end. During this time, what we do is to guarantee every payment. So the clients make a payment towards the property, which is already agreed in the purchase contract, and then we ask the builder to provide us with the bank guarantee.
Yeah.
This is a document that is made by the banks and assure the money of the buyer. So the builder goes in bankruptcy. By the way, I never see like a situation that I need to use it. So I don't want our clients being scared that it's very unusual. Why that there is publicity about this. So it didn't happen, at least to me. And this document made by the bank assure the money of the client. So by law, Spanish law states that the builder must give a bank guarantee. So it is very important. Each of the people that is listening to us, that they are planning to buy a house, that they know it's in their right to have the money guarantee. Because there is confusion about this. But if the law is clear, if you are a builder and you are building a house and the clients give you money in front, you need to guarantee this money.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know if you get many clients asking you about this.
The most of the people they buy they are not really familiar with the Spanish law, so we guide them already upfront in these things. For example, a reservation contract I'm originally from Belgium. It doesn't exist because we don't use this document. We go directly to in Spain it's called contrato de arras. And there we stipulate everything. There we mention everything, the detail of the seller, the details of the buyers, all the things. So that doesn't exist. So that I'm also giving upfront directly to as an advice, like, look, it starts there already. In the reservation contract, it needs to be also checked that everything is good. Because, for example, if there is something not right, there is no bank guarantee, or there is, or they are not owning the land, like you mentioned, yeah, you have already a problem, because then it's very difficult also to get your deposit back. So the reservation contract also needs to be clear if there is something not good or not right. That you, yeah, and it happens a lot, because I have a lot of people contact me because I have a very big reach, in especially in Belgium with the podcast. Get not every day, but monthly a mail. Look, we bought property. And yeah, we had a reservation period, but at the end there were some things not good, or there were, especially also in second-hand properties, there were things that was not okay, and we lost our money because we didn't know, and we trust the agent or the lawyer at that time, and yeah, they lose 10,000 euros. Yeah, it's a lot of money, you know.
Glenn, to avoid these things happening, it is a key to check carefully the purchase contract. We have the reservation contract that, as I said, is quite simple, and it doesn't have like a stipulation because it comes the second contract. That is just a simple page which is about you paying a deposit, and that's the house that we reserve for you. But then in the 10, 15 days after the reservation contract, the builder sent, in this case to us, the purchase contract. This is a really long contract that regulates the relationship between the buyer and the builder. And this needs to be negotiated, because the builder is always to put conditions on their favor that suits them. But that's why we are in the corner of our clients negotiating, like, okay, we don't want a delay of 6 months. Let's put it in 3 months. This is a classical.
Yeah.
You get the purchase contract, and all the builders, without exceptions, add a stipulation where it says that they are allowed a delay for no reason. If they have a delay, is allowed and accepted by the buyer for 3, 4, or even 6 months. And that means that legally the builder can give the house, instead of in December, next year in June.
Yeah.
And some clients doesn't even understand this, because at the end they are not lawyers, and they read the things. They see completion date December 2025, and that's what they think.
Yeah.
But they don't read the next stipulation that says that they can delay for 6 months. So that's where we do our work, because we read everything and then we negotiate. The same, some builders say, if the buyer cancel, they lose all the money, everything. And then we say, hold on a second. If they cancel, we understand there is a penalty because they cancel. But everything? What about if they pay 250,000 euros?
Yeah.
Of money.
Yeah.
So we try to negotiate like it's 20%, 30%, or 50%. But at least from these 250,000, they lose 50% of this amount, but they get 50% back. I think it's quite fair.
Yeah, of course.
We always try. That doesn't mean that we always get succeed and they say yes to everything that my team or I propose. But at least we try. So if I send the builder like 15 changes, I know there are 3 or 4 which I'm going to keep pushing until I get it. And I know other ones that, okay, this is for you, this is for me. That's why I send always a lot of changes, because like this, I know they will give them at least the most important, or the ones that are more important for my client. Because depends on the client. Some people say, I don't care about the 100% because I know for sure I'm not going to cancel. But for me, it's important that the house is ready in December. That's where I put the focus.
Yeah.
No, the house must be in December, because they want to enjoy Christmas with the family, or they want to put, I don't know, a party together, or That's
Or
important.
immigration. I have a lot of people, they go to Spain and they sell their house in Belgium. They have a certain time window to go to Spain because or else they don't have a home anymore. So they need to, it needs to be done at that time. And if you are 6 months later, it's costing extra money because you need to find a house, rent house, or to stay with family. And it's not really nice, you know?
You plan yourself and then you find a situation. So that's why it's important these purchase contracts are always in Spanish and English, at least. Sometimes in Spanish and Dutch or Spanish and French. So it is important that it's being read carefully for your lawyer, which obviously is our job to do, but as well, I advise the buyers that they read it because that's one of the most important things. Everything is there, rules the relationship. And if you sign it.
Yeah.
So
there is no way back,
correct. And I find many clients that came after they signed, when the problem arises, for me to negotiate. And sometimes I can push the builder and get somewhere. But sometimes they say, no, it's signed, your client knew, was agreed, I'm sorry, but not.
Yeah, that's true. It's true.
It's important to understand this. So first, find the property with the right agency. I insist in that not all the agencies are the same, like not all the builders or not all the lawyers. So right property with the right agency. Once you sign and pay the reservation agreement, you find the lawyer which is going to take care from this point until you get the keys of your property. Okay? What we do, make the legal searches in the initial stage, making sure builder has got the building license and they own the land where the house is going to get built. The taxes on this land, we check that are paid and there are not urbanistic charges or any kind of debt or situation against the land. We already checked that. Purchase contract. We check, we negotiate, and we do the best for our clients. And then the property is getting built, okay, during the months that has been established. And every payment our client does, we ask for the bank guarantee to make sure the money is assured. It could be a bank guarantee that the bank give to our client, but sometimes because it's really hard for the builders to get the bank guarantee, in this case, they can have the private policy, which is like a private insurance that at the end assure the payments that the buyers did towards the property. Or sometimes what we do is the payments are deposited at the notary, in the notary account. This way, the builder has not access to the money and the money is safe at the notary. So the bank guarantee could be given by the bank, okay, which the bank is the person that guarantees the money for our clients, but also it could be a private insurance policy, which is a private company that assures the money that the buyer paid to the builder, which is another option. Or the third option could be that the clients deposit the money, every payment they made for the property, at the notary. So the money is in the notary bank account, and the builder builds the property with their own money, and when the property is finished, the notary then pays all the money to the builder. But this way is super sure, because if something happened with the builder, it's not going to affect to the money of our client, because the money is with the notary in their notary account.
Okay.
So will be the three options that I think all our clients or everybody that is listening and thinking in buying a property should know, because it's the way to protect their money when buying a property.
Yeah, with a new build property,
Yes,
for the
in new
people.
build, because the bank guarantee only is for new build property, a property that is getting built. when the property is finished, you already see what you are buying. And it works differently because you pay a deposit and then you pay the rest when you go to the notary and get the keys. So it's different process. There are not like second payment, third payment, fourth payment. There are not payments in the middle.
No.
You just pay at the end at the notary and that's it.
Yeah. You just pay a reservation with
Correct.
the second-hand properties.
Yes, that's how it works. So that's why the bank guarantee only works for a new property.
Yes.
Because in resale, it doesn't make any sense and it's not necessary because the house is built. The bank guarantee, what it does is assure the money because the clients are going to pay towards something that is not built yet. You see? So for the risk is higher in this respect. That's why the Spanish law, in order to protect the buyers, established that the builder must give the bank guarantee. Okay. And going on with the process, then let's say that the property is built, everything, all the process went as it should be, very good. So the next step will be for the buyers to come to Spain and with the agency visit the property to see how is the property, the qualities, that everything is working well, everything as they expected, okay? And especially as they agree, because when they go and see as is new properties, normally the builder give the choosing materials and they can choose several kitchen or things like this. So it is important that everything has been done according what the client paid and what the client chose.
Yeah, also extra electricity points, extra things they asked or change the floors, or if it's the same quality and same things that they choose.
Sometimes as an extra could be like a summer kitchen or a solarium or a basement or an extra bedroom or bathroom, so or bigger pool. So all these things, it is important to check that has been done according what the client paid and agree, but as well it's important to verify that they are going to be shown in the documentation. Because if you make an extra room, but on the title deed is not an extra room, you will be only having 2 rooms, not 3 rooms. That's something quite typical that happened. So the client contract with the builder, this extra, I want the basement, for instance. That's one client that I had. They bought near where my office is with a builder that I'm not going to name, to say the name. And they had a large basement. Okay, I see it in the contract, was a large basement. The house was over $1 million. The house was 1.4. Okay, a very nice and big house. So I went because the client in this case, he's a very busy person and travels around the world. And he was, I believe, in Japan, and he couldn't come to Spain to visit. But we had to go to the notary because we had a date and the builder was pushing. So I went with the agency to revise the property and with his wife. Okay. And she had him like on the phone, like he was doing the video. So everything was right. The house was spectacular because the house was amazing. And then we go to the basement. And when we go to the basement, I'll ask the builder, excuse me, could you tell me how many meters this basement has? And he said, well, as big as the plot is. I said, we're talking about 400 meters. He said, yeah, we did as big as we could. It's an extra that the client contract. Then I opened my file and I said, yeah, but the contract say the basement has 150 meters, not almost 400. So on the deed will be 150 meters. Claro, we have a problem because the client has all these meters, but on the documents, on the title deed, is not going to show because it's not allowed. Of course, when I explain, I say to the client, look, we have this situation and it's amazing that you have all this space, because he had like an extra TV room. He had one room for all the installation, another room for all the cars and everything, another room for like a leisure room, like pues, ping pong, children. I mean, 400 meters are a lot of meters, Glenn.
Yeah.
But I said to him, you need to know that are not on the title deed, and they cannot be. Because when you build a property, there is a maximum occupancy that the house can use. So, for instance, imagine that's the plot, okay? And that's the house. The law established that the occupancy, what this house must take in this land, is 300 meters. So you can put a house of this side because this is bigger, see? And that's what they did. So the house had the occupancy right, but because it was the basement, they opened more. And then I explained to the client, he understood, he was happy, because at the end of the day, nobody's going to complain if you get more for your money. Okay?
No, of course.
That's a great story, because I always love to say examples, because that is what somebody keep.
Yeah, of course.
So, well, at the end, we bought the house, which, by the way, it was amazing, really, really nice property, and the client is very happy there. But it is important that the audience knows that when you get an extra, it's important to tell your lawyer, for your lawyer to make sure that this extra is on the title deed.
Of course, yeah. Because for after, when you want to sell it, it's a problem.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When he is going to sell, he will have all the meters and everything in the house are perfect, but in the basement, he needs to advertise with 150. And then when the people visit the property, say, well, you have extra, but officially it's 150. They need to advertise what with the details that the title deed says.
Yeah, and it's no problem, for example, if you get an inspection or something that they see
It's very rare they get it, because first is the basement, and they already had the inspection done, and before probably they extend all these meters, I suppose, and the town hall say yes and give them the habitation certificate, which is a document that says that the property is everything according the project and according the law, and respect the urbanistic rules, and has the minimum conditions to live in the property and use and everything.
Yeah.
So,
and how is it in Spanish, this certificate? Because it's very interesting for the people.
Yes. It's called Cédula de Habitabilidad.
Okay.
Or habitation certificate, or it could be called declaración responsable, because sometimes they call it or this way or another way. Actually, I was doing today a post for my followers, and I told the marketing agency, look, use both names, because people use both in different. So at the end is wherever it says declaración responsable de habitabilidad or certificado de segunda ocupación, it refers to the same thing.
Okay.
We do it easy in Spain, always many words for the same thing.
Yeah, I know. I know.
By the way, our audience should know that you speak very well Spanish, and that's really
Thank
good.
you.
That's really good.
I try.
No, but you do it very well. So,
Okay. So, and then we have all the checks and the bank warranties, and then what's the next steps? What are the things that...
will be the client coming to inspect the property with the
Yes.
agency, and once they tell us everything is okay, we start preparing everything for the notary, which is the most important moment, because is when the clients pays the house, sign the title deed. The title deed is like the main document that you do in front of the notary, and then they receive the keys. This document, to be ready before that, we need to do a lot of work. First, we verify the documents, because if we remember, at the beginning of the process, we only had a land and a building license. But now this has converted in a land with a house. So we need to check all the documents and the title deed that the builder did for this house to exist. Okay, I'll make it like simple and easy, because I want the clients to understand. So basically, we check that the house is totally finished with the certificate from the architect that says the property is finished. We check as well that the house has the 10 years insurance warranty, which is obligatory for structural damages. We check as well that has the habitation certificate from the town hall, as we spoke, acoustic certificate, energy certificate, which is obligatory as well. And also, we ask the builder to give us the CDs, which is a CD with all the documents from the cadastral office, the land registry office, the previous title deed, and we oversee everything. And when everything is in order, we send this information to the notary for the notary to produce the title deed where it says that the buyer is going to buy this property. In this moment, we already know the description of the property, because at the beginning, we only had a simple description for the contract, but now the property exists. So we send this description to our client for them to confirm, yes, Sylvia, it's okay. That's right. And when all this is in place and the property has been checked by the client, we are ready to go to the notary. In this moment, if we do it with power of attorney, which is normally the case, we assign the document and then collect the keys. The client, whenever they are able, they come to collect the keys. Sometimes they come 2 weeks later or 2 days later. That it depends on each person. And they start enjoying the property. And we start the second part of our process. Because, of course, for them, finish there. They got the house, they're happy, they got the keys, we do the house insurance, very important, and they can start enjoying their dream house. And we do the tax payment, the registration of this house in the land registry on their name, and contract for the water, the electricity, the council tax, community, if there is a community because they have common area, common pools, etc. We do all this contract on the buyer's name, which now they are the owners, and we set up a direct debit from there. Normally is the Dutch or Belgium account, because as you guys work in euros, it's accepted by the water and electricity company.
Yeah, that's the thing that a lot of people are always frequently asking, also a lot in Facebook groups, like, is it necessary to have a Spanish bank account?
It's not necessary.
Yeah, I always say the same, because if as a foreigner that's not living in Spain, it costs you money, because they ask a fee, a monthly fee, and today with IBAN and everything, you can do a transfer from Belgium or a direct debit from Belgium or Holland, and you can do it from your own account. You can do it in your own language. So it's it's not necessary, but it's a common question that is coming always again. Like, do I need a Spanish bank account?
If you are buying a new property, it's not necessary. If it's a resale property, you could not having it, but when you're going to pay for the property, that means that you are paying to the seller's account. And it's not the same a builder, which you already been paying, and they have the obligation. I mean, their only purpose of a builder is selling houses. So they will go to the notary and sell the house. I mean, they are serious companies. But when you pay the money to a seller, private seller, which I don't know them, and maybe I don't know the lawyer of the seller's lawyer, for me, it creates a little bit of insecurity because you pay in the house first, then you go to the notary. Because if you sign and you don't pay, the seller is not going to accept that.
No.
Somebody needs to accept, or well, the buyers pay first, or the sellers get the money after. Telling you, we have there always the losing side, because the seller say, no, if I don't have the money, they can pay me with a bank draft.
Yeah.
To pay with a bank draft, Spanish bank draft, you need a Spanish bank account.
Yeah. Or a bank check also. They do also with a check sometime, no?
Bank draft, I mean bank check,
Yes.
but it have to be for a Spanish bank account.
Yeah, of course.
In this case, my recommendation is open the bank account for this transaction, then you close it, and the direct debit for water, electricity, and community, you do it from your Belgium or Dutch account. See?
Okay.
So maybe you pay, I don't know, 25 euros commission or 30 euros, whatever, but it's for a short period of time.
Yeah, that's true.
Then you close it, and then you have it all in your account in your country.
Okay.
And more or less, Glenn, that will be the process of buying a property in Spain when it is new. And they should expect from the lawyer that takes care of everything, from the day that the client say, I want to buy this property and I pay a deposit, until they get the keys with their insurance, taxes paid, the title deed signed, registered, and everything completed. Okay.
The only thing that you mentioned and is very, very good to do is before you go to the notary with a new built property is to check very good the property, to check it with the clients and stuff, because there are also a lot of things. I hear also a lot of stories that from people they don't check, and then they come and they have they ask for a gray floor, and then they have a white floor, and then there, if the payment is done at the notary, there is no way back, I say, because then everybody gets their money, and then they say, we don't know nothing. So
it is like this. I mean, you could claim, but I'm telling you that when you owe them money, I have more leverage to negotiate, because it's like, no, my client has got the green floor, you put the white, unless you change it, we don't go to the notary. It's not the same. I'm in the stronger position.
of course.
In our case, always the property is being checked before the notary. Whether if it's the client, which is the ideal situation, the agency, us, the agency with us, it depending, but always it needs to be checked. Because what happens if you go there and there is a big thing or a big damage, or I don't know. I mean, it's very rare, but it needs to be checked. How is the house what I bought, and is in the correct place? And in the worst scenario, even if the client doesn't come, if I go, or the agency, normally it's the agency who goes, they send videos and photos to ask for the okay.
Yeah, we do it always for the clients. We always check before the notary, check all the things, because we have all the documents and all the changes. So that's very important. Also, the qualities are checked. If they don't put a lower quality that like is seen in show houses or stuff. So, okay. Thank you very much for all this good information. Thank you for this nice podcast. And hopefully we do another one very short.
I hope so. Looking forward. And I hope the audience like our podcast and is a valid information. And well, if anybody has any questions or anything, they can always contact you, and we will be super happy to clarify any questions.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Glenn. See you very soon. Bye.
Bye.
Bedankt voor het luisteren naar de Alles over Spanje podcast. Vond je deze aflevering waardevol? Abonneer je dan zeker via je favoriete podcastkanaal of deel hem met jouw amigos. Heb jij vragen of plannen? Contacteer ons dan via www.allesoverspanje.be. Dan helpen we jou graag verder. Tot de volgende aflevering. Hasta pronto!